President Tinubu addresses NAS, signs bill reverting to Nigeria's old anthem into law. CJ and someone's Kano Chief Judge, federal judge over conflicting orders. Customs to sanction officers and scuffle with VIO operatives. On a foreign scene, Algeria proposes Security Council resolution demanding Israel halt offensive in Rafah. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's news update. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thanks for joining us. Now, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday launched the recitation of the new national anthem before a joint session of the National Assembly to mark the Silver Jubilee of Nigeria's Fourth Republic. The occasion coincided with the first anniversary of President Tinubu's administration in office. The report.
The old anthem, Nigeria, we hail thee, composed when Nigeria gained independence on October 1, 1960, has replaced the Arise, O Compatriots anthem. President Tinubu, while launching the new national anthem, admonished Nigerians to join hands in brotherhood to build the nation. The president was accompanied by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, APC National Chairman and former Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje, among others.
You rang out the latest national anthem. Nigeria will hail thee. See, this is our diversity. Representing all characters and how we blend together to be brothers and sisters.
The signing into law of the old national anthem bill, Nigeria has now reverted to the national anthem that was used pre-1978 era.
There is no better place to commence this revolution of going back to our genealogy than the National Assembly, made of very patriotic, not just representatives, but elected representatives of the people of Nigeria. The voice of the National Assembly is the voice of Nigeria.
Our national anthem, the one that we grew up with, I'm talking about those of us who are above 50. And for the young ones, I'm sure by the time you sit down, read it line by line, word by word, you will see why it is very, very important for Nigeria to revisit its former national anthem.
In the meantime, the president, who said he will soon bring the 2024 supplementary bill before the National Assembly, noted that his administration is walking the talk in terms of timely passage of annual budgets.
I submitted the last budget to you. You expeditiously passed it. We are walking the talk. I will soon bring year 2024 appropriation bill. That is just for your information.
After his address, President Tinubu proceeded to commission the National Assembly Library.
Nigerians have expressed divergent views on the one-year anniversary of President Bola Tinubu's administration. Trust TV's Adamu Imam spoke to a cross-section of residents in Bauchi State and sent in this report.
It is a mixed bag of opinions as residents of Bauchi x-ray President Tinubu's performance as he clocks 1 year in office. Some of the issues raised bordered on critical sectors like security and education.
By now you say Tinubu has not done anything for the North. I wouldn't blame him because before coming he has not promised anything. He said until he can. And by now, like I told you, the issue of Boko Haram, and I think he has done marvelously well in reducing the tension, the problem of Boko Haram, particularly in the Northeast. But you see, when you take Northeast, when you take other parts of northern Nigeria, Northwest, we still have the issue of kidnappers.
What we have earlier been told is that some few individuals are enjoying the subsidy money more than Nigerians. But notwithstanding, still there are a lot of problems, which in fact the subsidy removal has thrown Nigerians into hardship because we are not used to this kind of situation.
We should try and see how to look into the plight of the Nigerian citizens so as to ensure that they get the necessary thing that they need so as to be able to live a good life.
We have seen what he started, but there is a need for improvement, especially in the areas of agriculture as well as the economy. They maintain that although President Tinubu started well, the current economic situation, however, places on burden on the president to have a rethink in his style of leadership in order to turn around the fortunes of the country. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, has summoned the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court and the Chief Judge of Kano State High Court over conflicting interim injunctions regarding the Kano Emirate, which have caused uncertainty in the state. Now, the Federal High Court in Kano, presided over by Justice S.A. Almobeda, issued an order for the eviction of Emir Muhammadu Sanusi II from the Korofokrudu Palace, while the Kano State High Court, under the jurisdiction of Justice Amina Adamu Aliyu, issued an injunction to protect Muhammad Sanusi and other key figures from potential harassment by state authorities. The State High Court's case is set for further hearing on June 13, while the Federal High Court is adjourned to its case to June 4. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Bar Association (NBA) has stated that the conflicting orders issued by the Federal High Court, the Kano State High Court, and again the Federal High Court have brought utter disgrace and shame to the profession. A statement signed by NBA National Publicity Secretary Korede Lawal on Wednesday said the actions of the court have exposed the entire legal profession in Nigeria to public ridicule. The NBA president called on the respective heads of states, heads of the courts, of the judges concerned to take immediate steps to look into their conduct with a view to finding any possible abuse of the judicial officers and file a report with the National Judicial Council for necessary action. Still on court matters in Lagos, the Federal High Court has again ordered the interim forfeiture of $1.4 million linked to the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Godwin Emefiele, to the federal government of Nigeria. The judge also ordered the EFCC to publish the interim forfeiture order in a national newspaper for anyone interested in the money sought to be forfeited to appear before the court and show cause within 14 days, while the final order of forfeiture of the said sum should not be made. The court made the above orders while granting an ex parte application moved by the counsel to the EFCC, Bilkisu Buhari Bala. The money forfeited in the interim is said to be in Donatone Limited's account and domiciled in Titan Bank Limited. Justice Faji has adjourned the matter to June 25th for hearing of the final forfeiture of the money. At Wednesday's proceedings, the court was informed that the order sought, pursuant to Section 17 of the Advance Fee, Fraud and Other Fraud-Related Offences Acts, Number 14, 2006, and Sections 44, Subsection 2B of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In Abuja here, Federal High Court, Justice Iyang Eko has discharged the leader of the Miyetti Allah Kotakore, Bello Bodejo, of an alleged terrorism charge filed against him by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation. In a ruling, Justice Eko discharged Bodejo after counsel for the AGF Adironke Imana moved an oral application for the withdrawal of the 3-count charge. At the resumed hearing on Wednesday, Imana informed the court that she had an oral application. The lawyer said the application was under Section 108 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, ACJA 2015. She said the request was further predicated on the power of the AGF under Section 174 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, adding that the Attorney General of the Federation had instructed her to withdraw the charge against the defendant in the interest of justice. Counsel to Bodejo did not oppose the application, but the AGF, but thanked the AGF for his magnanimity. The Katsina State Police Command says it has thwarted a kidnap attempt, rescued an abducted victim, and neutralized a suspected notorious bandits kingpin identified as one Awalu. While the rescued kidnapped victim was rushed to hospital for medical attention, police authorities in the state said Awalu was allegedly terrorizing Dandume local government area of Katsina and its environs. The police spokesman, ASP Abubakar Sadiq, in a statement on Wednesday stated that the body of the neutralized suspected bandit was recovered in the course of scanning the scene. These came shortly after information was received at the Dandume Divisional Police Headquarters on May 28, 2024, that armed bandits in their numbers, while attempting to kidnap unsuspecting commuters, blocked the Dandume Sabua Road. ASP Sadiq said the DPO, Dandume SP Emmanuel Zangina, upon receipt of the report, collaborated with the military and promptly mobilized a team of operatives which engaged the bandits in a fierce gun duel. This week, a viral social media video showed officers of the Nigerian Customs Service in a confrontation with vehicle inspection officers, highlighting recurring clashes between different security and paramilitary agencies in the country. In this report, Noel Sampson speaks to the parties involved to clear the air on the issue.
Speaking with the public relations officers of both the Nigeria Customs Service and the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, they each highlighted what led to the confrontation between officers of their respective agencies.
They went to retrieve a vehicle that was confiscated by VIO, and it led to that ugly incident. So we feel it's unfortunate. We have part of our Cs, which is, we call them 7 Cs, and one of the 7 Cs is control situation. In whatever situation you find yourself, there is a better way to resolve the issue without even going into such kind of ugly confrontation. So it's not a representation of us. The officers are in detention currently, and they have been undergoing interrogation. And at the end of the investigation, and whatever the outcome is, we are going to act in line with our books.
You will not just say you are a custom officer. Everybody will believe you. The man didn't have any identity card. They told him they have to get to the office. He tried to resist. With the pressure, he had to obey. When he got to office, they told him, keep the vehicle here, go and get anything that will identify you. He went home. The following day, he came with 10 officers of Customs Service.
Both public relations officers also highlighted the measures they are taking to ensure such confrontations do not happen again.
We are not seeing our men justify why they should do that. Also, it requires all elements coming together to see a reason where we all perform our statutory functions in a cordial manner, in such a way that the public will see us as coordinating and try to achieve one purpose, and the purpose is for a better nation.
I will encourage them. I will say they are really doing the right thing, because nobody in a sane society will support such misdemeanor. You are making the society look as if we are not organized. We don't know what anybody is supposed to do. We are trying to build a better society where people will know, yes, Nigerians know what they are doing. Somebody who claims to be an officer of such a respectable organization will descend so low.
Meanwhile, Trust TV News spoke to some FCT residents to gather their opinions on the frequent reoccurrence of interagency clashes.
Something like this happened in Sudan, and we can see the effect and how it led to an endless bloodshed, and up to this moment they are still in war.
Police is asking for driving license and it's not proper. That is not their work. So in a situation like that, it always resort to a problem, because the other side is trying to do the other side's job, which is not his job.
Nigerians are hopeful that the issues of clashes between security and paramilitary agencies will be brought to an end to help boost public confidence. Noel Sampson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Farmers generally engage in farming in rural areas due to the availability of land, cost effectiveness, proximity to natural resources, and favorable climate conditions. However, these days, some urban residents are also growing various plants in their backyards or within their premises to feed their families. Adu Musa takes a look at how some residents of Jos are cultivating crops in their homes.
In the past, it was uncommon for households to engage in farming or planting crops within the premises of their homes due to challenges such as limited land, water scarcity, and disease. Today, however, some residents are growing various types of crops within their home premises to feed their families and even supply their neighbors. Furthermore, when the crops are too abundant for their own consumption, they sell the surplus. What is the secret behind farming within home premises or in the backyard?
Okay, so these ugu leaves are quite expensive in the market. So you see that most times when you just get up in a day and you really don't have what to prepare any soup, it's very easy for you to just come behind the house and you take this very rich and farm fresh. There is no preservative to it. It's just natural from the ground, something that you grow, and there is that pride you get of growing something and also feeding from it. So this gives you all the advantages. You get it fresh and of course free of charge because you are the one that grow it, and you get to enjoy this fresh meal with your family.
Thomas Gutfuan and Afia Gutfuan, a husband and wife duo, have been growing various types of crops including pepper, okra, yam and sweet potato in recent years. They explain what they grow and why they choose to farm within their compound.
This is celery, very expensive. I'm sure many of you know celery, very fresh. Just 2 pieces is enough for cooking. I have 2 of them here. This is mint. This is another variety of mint. I just put it, it's yet to grow. Mint is very nice for taking tea, for soups, for jollof rice, and so many other things. And another time, this is parsley. Parsley is another spice that is very good for cooking. I have 2 of them here. I'm still going to grow this garden. I just started recently on this garden, on this section of my garden. So this is spices size.
Since we came to this compound about 15 years ago, with the space we have, the little space we have, we started it. Very, very useful to us, to the extent that we don't go out for some of the things that are mostly needed. And sometimes even if you go to the market, you don't get the freshness and the good ones that you have. But here you can see we have them available. And friends and relations also sometimes come for some of these things for what they want to use at some times. Very, very helpful. Yes.
What are the challenges of urban farming? The urban farmers have this to say.
My major challenge so far is this infection. Sometimes the vegetables will just turn red, turn black, before you know it, they are destroyed. Just 3-4 days ago, I fumigated the vegetables because they were beginning to show some signs of infection. I was told it's fungal infection, so I fumigated based on what I was asked to buy and do. And they said I should be doing that from time to time. That's my major challenge. Fertilizer would have been one, but I have rams in the compound. So I use the droppings from the ram to manure my vegetables, my yams, and every other thing I grow around the house.
Homestead farming involves growing plants, fruits, and vegetables in surroundings of a house for domestic use. With the current economic situation in the country, residents are encouraged to embrace this system to ensure food security and nutrition. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Away from Nigeria, Algeria is circulating a proposed UN Security Council resolution that will demand an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and other Israel to halt its military offensive in the southern city of Rafah. The draft resolution also demands that the ceasefire be respected by all parties. It also calls for the immediate release of all hostages taken during Hamas's attack in southern Israel on October 7. Some diplomats said they hoped for a quick vote even as early as Wednesday. The United States has vetoed multiple resolutions demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. The draft demands compliance with various Security Council resolutions that call for the opening of all border crossings and humanitarian access to Gaza's 2.3 million people who desperately need food and other aid. And in sports, the Confederation of African Football has announced the host country for the 2025 Under-17 African Cup of Nations. The football apex body in the continent on Tuesday announced Ivory Coast as the country for the competition. The Young Elephants has qualified for the championship as one of the teams from the Wafu B region, but their hosting right means another country from the region could take their position. The Ivorians were awarded the right to stage the tournament as the facilities used for the 2023 African Cup of Nations are still intact. That's it for news updates at this hour. For more news, documentaries and programs, please do well to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. On behalf of the news production team, thank you so much for watching.